up in the snowlands, no one knows where, there is a great house surrounded by evergreens and blanketed with falling snow. In this dream house all year long, there is hustle and bustle, scurrying feet, and the constant tap, tap, tap of workers' mallets as Santa Claus and his helpers prepare for that great day, Christmas. This home symbolizes sacrifice, generosity, and unselfish effort for others. And here he is, dear old St. Nicholas, with 3 of his faithful helpers. Peppy, Zippo, and Click.
Here are letters from good little boys and girls all over the world. Now there isn't very much time left, so we must keep busy.
Yes, there is much to be done, for children everywhere believe wholeheartedly in this grand old man. This means constant toil and tinkering, so that thousands of presents will be ready to make Christmas Day the happiest in all the year. Meanwhile, the workshop of Santa Claus is buzzing with activity. Industriously and happily, they fill his many bags with toys and presents for all. And so, the day before Christmas arrives. His work done, Santa prepares to leave for his long ride through the sky.
Now then, you be good little boys while I'm away, now won't you, eh? You know I've got a lot to do, but I'll be back before long. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It is Christmas Eve, and in every home throughout the land, they prepare for the coming of the jolly old man with a long white beard and presents for all.
Mother,
We have one more wreath left. May I put it in the window?
Yes, dear, do.
All right.
Darling.
Oh, you got the wreath, Martha. That's fine.
That's a nice one.
Now say goodnight to Daddy, darling.
Oh, Mommy, can't we have Martha sing a Christmas carol before we go to bed? That's a
Why,
nice
yes, dear, I think so. What do you say, Daddy?
Well, I think that would be fine. Wouldn't you like to sing "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," Martha?
Why, yes, Daddy.
That's fine. I'll play for you.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Amen.
That was lovely, Martha.
Thank you, Mother.
Now run along to bed, darlings, and we'll be up and tuck you in later.
Okay.
Hurry up.
Come on.
Over the housetops and through the snow, dancing and prancing his reindeer go, spreading the message, goodwill and good cheer, that the spirit of Christmas may last through the year. As sleepy-eyed children lie snug in their beds, old Santa is driving high over their heads. Over the housetops and through the snow, dancing and prancing his reindeer go. Here's a young hopeful who can't sleep at all. Compared to the others, her stocking's too small. So down to the mantel she tiptoes with fear that all will be spoiled if the others should hear.
Stand, sir.
And while his reindeer stand patiently by, ready to dash ahead at his next command, Santa Claus prepares to take his big bag of toys down the chimney. Each gift a symbol of love, of friendship, of peace and happiness. It's a long way down, but the jolly old fellow is used to it. Here he is at last. But dreams are disturbed by visions of what is going on. His bag empty, St. Nick returns to his empty sleigh, back to the snowlands for another bag full of happiness for other good little boys and girls. And then the great day arrives. Like all other children, they don't know what to do first. With so many presents all around them, so many things to play with, so much to talk about.
And look, I got railroad train and a scooter. Oh! And boy, all the kids will rave about it. Yeah, and they'll rave about this too. This is a nice one. The other kids have some, but this is nice. They never had this on before. I bet not.
Merry Christmas! Oh, look what we have over here.
Oh, Merry Christmas, dear. Oh, that's wonderful. How beautiful.
And I got a dollar. Yeah, I got a dollar.
But Santa made a grave mistake. He left a railroad train for Jackie. He should have left it for Daddy, because fathers and mothers never grow up. Not on Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to all! Merry Christmas to all!
With peace and goodwill to all men.
Morning.
Good morning, Horace. Good morning to you, Annie.
Good morning.
Hurry up, Annie, hurry up. We've got to get cleaned up for Christmas. Hurry up.
Yeah. My, what a beautiful Christmas tree.
Sweep, 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 sweep.
Oh, out of my way, bird. Got to get cleaned up for Christmas. I can't wait for my Christmas stocking.
There.
Horace, hang your stocking up. You're always the last one.
Don't rush me. Don't push me. Santa Claus is not in the chimney.
What's the use? We animals don't have a Santa Claus.
Well, why don't we have a Santa Claus?
I don't know.
Santa Claus is only for children. There is no Santa for animals.
That's right, Annie.
Let's do something about it.
We must make a plan. We must send someone to see Santa Claus.
But who shall we send?
Kitty Cat, she's smart. Besides, she's beautiful, too.
Oh, let me go with you, Kitty.
Annie and Kitty, that's a good choice.
Well, we must hurry. It's
Get
getting
my
late.
muffler, hurry,
Goodbye, Julie.
hurry. Goodbye, Horace dear.
Goodbye, Annie.
Goodbye, Phyllis. Goodbye, Kitty Cat. Take care of yourself.
We'll be back soon.
Don't get lost.
And don't catch cold. We'll be thinking of you and waiting for you at home. How big is Santa Claus anyway?
Oh, very big, enormous.
Oh, is our chimney big enough for him?
Well, why don't you look inside and see?
All right, I will.
Well, how is it?
Oh, it's kind of small way up on top.
What shall we do about it?
Well, I
Oh, Felix, look out, the chimney's falling down! Felix, the chimney's falling down! Oh, Felix!
Oh,
Felix, my poor Felix!
oh,
Speak to me, Felix! Speak to me! Are you hurt, Felix?
Hurt? Of course not. Just out of breath from blowing the snow out of our chimney. I'm so tired. My paws ache. My whiskers are freezing. Is it much further?
Courage, Kitty, courage. Be a brave cat.
Do you see anything, Annie?
Yes, yes.
Oh my, I'm so tired. My good meow. Is it much further?
It's just past the iceberg.
Felix, look at the time. It's getting late.
Oh, where are they? Where are they?
It's such a dark, cold night.
Hurry, Kitty, hurry. Here's Santa. I told you he was just around the corner. He's just filled up his big pack. Oh, hurry, Kitty. Hello, Mr. Santa Claus.
Hello, Mr. Santa Claus.
Welcome, my animal friend.
Oh, sir, there is no Santa for animals.
That's right, sir. No animal Santa.
I know. That's why you came to see me. Now, Kitty Cat, you can be my animal Santa.
Kitty Cat?
Me, sir?
Why, of course. I've often worried about animals at Christmas time, but I've been so busy with children. Now, Kitty Cat, you can represent me for all animals.
My, what a beautiful costume.
Yes, it sure is. Now you put it on.
Oh, thank you, Annie. Thank you.
That's right.
Oh, Kitty, that hat looks so nice on you.
Now you're a real animal Santa.
Goodbye, Kitty. Goodbye, Santa Claus.
Goodbye, Mr. Santa Claus.
Now here's your pack over here. Remember, give all the animals a present.
Oh, this is wonderful. I'll remember everyone. It's Annie. Oh, she's back.
Oh, let them inside where it's warm.
Sure, come
Oh,
on
Annie,
in.
tell us all about
Oh,
it.
where's Kitty Cat?
Where is Kitty Cat,
Well, come
Annie?
on in.
Well, aren't you going to tell us, Annie?
Well,
Come on now, Annie, tell us.
Well.
Tell us all about it.
Santa Claus is coming. You'll have your own Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas. Here's a present for you, Annie.
Thank you, Mr. Santa Claus.
And one for you, Horace.
Oh, thank you, Santa.
And for you, Felix.
What's this? A tail?
Yeah. That's good news, Dale.
You're not Santa, you're Kitty Cat. But don't worry, I've a present for you. It's a mouse.
Oh, no, Horace. Not on Christmas.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, my whiskers!
Here, Mousy, here's a piece of cheese for you. And a Merry Christmas to you. Why, here's Santa Claus himself. He'll tell you I'm the animal Santa.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Please, Santa, tell them what you said.
Kitty Cat is official Santa Claus for animals always. Well, Merry Christmas and goodbye, good animals.
Merry Christmas to you, Mr.
Thank
Santa
you for the
Claus, and
present.
thank you very much for the
Don't
present.
forget
Yes.
you.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, I'm sorry. I was such a stupid doggy. Felix, let's sing your Christmas song. You begin it.
There's Santa Claus for you.
There's Santa Claus for me.
With Santa now for animals.
We're happy as can be. We wish you each and every one loads and loads of Christmas fun. Merry
Christmas.
Every party.
It is Christmas Eve. The melody of a Christmas carol fills the still night in a village in Europe. It is Christmas Eve. The same song comes from a church in a small town in America. For nearly 150 years, in many parts of the world, people have been singing this carol. It is the song we call Silent Night. Who wrote this beloved song? Where did it come from? For the answer, we must go to Europe. It was here, in Austria, in the little village of Oberndorf, that the song was written. If we should go there today, we'd find the town of Oberndorf in the province of Salzburg. Here, we can trace the history of the song. Not far from the church of St. Nicola, in the village, is a chapel built by the people of Oberndorf. Inside the chapel, the story of Silent Night is told in two portraits of stained glass. One is of Father Moore, the village priest who wrote the words of the song. His friend was Franz Gruber, the teacher and choir master who composed the music of Silent Night. For the story of the two men and the song they wrote, we must go back a long time. We must go back a century and a half. It is the year 1818, in the holiday season, the Christmas season. In the village, it is the time of age-old Christmas customs. Groups of girls are visiting each house, carrying with them a painting of Mary and Joseph. Boys representing the shepherds of Bethlehem come to the houses caroling. They are collecting gifts of food for the poor. The story they tell in song is one that never loses interest, for it is the story of the first Christmas. And the same story will be told again in the Christmas Eve service in the church. But on this afternoon, the door of the church stands open, and all is still. Inside, the choir master, Franz Gruber, has discovered that the organ is broken. He will not be able to play, and Father Moore will have no music for his Christmas Eve service. And what would Christmas Eve be without music in the church? The problem was one for Father Moore, but he was not here. He had gone away to visit a family in a mountain cabin. As he walked along, his thoughts were on the preparations for the coming of Christmas. His path took him ever upward, along the snowy slopes. Above him was the forest, dark against the gleaming snow. From below came the faint and musical sounds of a mountain stream. And all about him was the quiet beauty of God's world. It was evening when he reached the house. At the door, he received a warm and friendly welcome. And there before him lay a baby with his mother. Perhaps as he watched, Father Moore may have thought of another child, the Christ child, lying in the manger. It was night when Father Moore started back to the village. In the moonlight, the mountain slope lay still and calm. It was a beautiful night, a holy night. Father Moore thought of many things. The child he had seen, the beauty of the night, the Christmas soon to come. And so it was, as some say, that on his return to the village, Father Moore wrote a poem. The words seemed to come quickly and easily. Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, silent night, holy night. Even as he wrote, the priest wondered whether the poem could be set to music. Father Moore decided to take it to Franz Gruber. The two friends, priest and schoolteacher, talked it over together. The schoolteacher began to read. Silent night, holy night. Why, this was a poem that was meant for Christmas. Father Moore wondered, could the words be set to music? Of course, Franz Gruber would compose a melody. Perhaps they would have some music for their Christmas Eve service after all. The words themselves seemed to suggest the melody, a simple melody, one that Franz Gruber first played on his guitar. And so it was that the song two men had written was presented for the first time in 1818 at the Christmas Eve service in the village church. Christmas was over, and in the days that followed, no one outside the village knew about the song. With the first hint of spring, an organ mender from a village in the Tyrol came to Oberndorf. The children knew that at last someone had come to fix the broken organ in their church. And indeed, it was not very long before the old craftsman had put the instrument into working order. Now, he said to the choir master, you try it. And so Franz Gruber sat down and began to play the Christmas song he had written some weeks before. The organ mender listened and remembered. All the way back to his own village, the organ mender thought of the lovely words and simple melody. And when at last he reached the hill overlooking his own village, and some children came to meet him, he taught them the song he had learned. Down the hill ran the children, and with them went the song, Silent Night. For some years, the song was known only in such villages, tucked away in the snug valleys of the Alps. But finally, it found its way to St. Peter's Abbey in Salzburg. And from the city of Salzburg in Austria, the song was eventually carried to other places in Europe. To Paris, to London, and then to places in America, to the cities, and to the small towns. Today, Silent Night is a song that belongs to everyone.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now, Dasher! Now, Dancer! Now, Prancer and Vixen! On, Comet! On, Cupid! On, Donder and Blitzen! To the top of the porch! To the top of the wall! Now, dash away! Dash away! Dash away all!
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too.
Whoa! Whoa!
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly, that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Say prayers real nicely, no playing, huh? That's right. You don't like. Good tune. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this night be by my side, to light and God, to rule and guide. Amen.
Amen. We're ready now. How about the story?
What kind of a story?
Oh, about animals. About baby Jesus.
Well, let's see. Supposing I tell you a story about both. Suppose I tell you about baby Jesus and a little lamb who for one night was the most important little lamb in the whole wide world.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
A long time ago, nearly 2,000 years ago, in fact, in the hills of Judea, just outside the little town of Bethlehem, on one cold, storm-laden night, we find 3 shepherds, very important to our story.
The sheep have devils in them tonight. A dozen times has the storm scattered them.
They're all safe now, Reza?
All except one lamb.
Well, aren't you going to look for him?
I have looked for him. Looked for him till I'm worn out. That one lamb has run away more times than all the others put together.
Then I will go.
I will help thee.
Then you're both fools.
He's frightened, Uncle Asa, and miserable. He may be hurt. I can't leave him like that.
Ah.
We'll be back as soon as we find him.
Come, my son.
Listen! There he is.
Everything is all right now.
Be not afraid, good shepherds. Behold, the news I bring thee is good news of great rejoicing for all people. This night in Bethlehem, a Savior hath been born for thee, no other than the Lord Christ. By this thou shalt know him. Thou wilt find him wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger.
What is it? What does it mean?
We must tell Asa of this.
Uncle Asa, an angel appeared to us, and he said, Christ the King is born.
What? The storm must have addled thy brain. Hearest thou this drivel thy son uttereth?
But Asa, what the boy saith is true. I too saw the angel and heard him speak.
You can see what good it did to search for that lamb. Already he's running away again.
I'll take care of him, Uncle Asa. Thou needst have no concern.
We must look for the Christ child.
And we shall find him lying in a manger.
That must mean that he's in a stable.
And why should a king be born in a stable? Answer me that.
Perhaps we shall know that when we find him. Wilt thou come with us, Asa?
Yea, I will go with thee. Wait! Wilt thou take the lamb?
I'll be responsible for him, Uncle Asa.
What new madness is this? Put that lamb down and leave him.
Let the boy alone, Asa. What harm can it do?
And, carrying the little lamb with them, Reuben, Benjamin, and Asa struggled through the hills on this very holy night. Hours later, they approached the little town of Bethlehem. Cold, crowded, wonderful Bethlehem lying before them in the night.
Who art thou? What seek ye?
We come seeking Christ the King.
Why think ye he is here?
An angel told us he is born. Is he here?
My name is Joseph, and this is Mary, my wife.
I heard thee speaking outside. Thou art welcome.
My Lord and my God.
He's cold. Is there no more than a shawl to warm him?
Please, the lamb would keep him warm.
The lamb, for which I had no care, is of the greatest importance.
Oh, Lord, I did not know. Forgive me.
Welcome, one and all, to the Little Story Shop, a magic place of stories and toys for girls and boys. Let's go inside now and meet Mr. and Mrs. Little. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Little. The children of the town love to come in and listen to their stories and see the toys. Maybe we'll hear a story now.
Do you hear the carolers, Mr. Little? What does that remind you of?
Yes, my dear, I hear the carolers. They remind me of a Christmas some time ago.
Tell us all about it, Mr. Little.
I believe it would be best if Mrs. Little told this story. I seldom talk about myself. Well, not very often, anyway.
All right, sir. I'll tell it. There's a lot to learn in this story about Mr. Little, children. So listen. This story takes us back several years ago to another time just before Christmas. And as always, the boys were singing singing in the street. But things were a little different then. You see, Mr. Little wasn't always the friendly, pleasant gentleman he is today. In fact, he was rough, gruff, and just a little difficult to get along with. Why, he didn't even like the music. In fact, I don't think he liked anyone, which is not a very good way for a toy maker to be.
Why don't they stop that infernal singing?
Well, I frankly didn't know what to do. We were so awfully busy with Christmas so near, and I knew that Mr. Little was afraid he couldn't get all the toys made.
I'd give anything for some good help.
Did you say anything?
At first, we didn't know who on earth said that. We looked all over, and then we saw him. What a strange little fellow he was. Where he came from, who he was, what he wanted, we had no idea. But he certainly was there.
Well, did you say you'd give anything for some good help?
Why, yes, I guess I did say that.
Good. Then I'm going to work for you, and when I'm through, you'll give me anything I want in the store.
Yes, certainly, certainly. But what can you do?
You just watch me. Just watch me.
My, you should have seen that little fellow go to work. Mercy, he worked so fast, why, we could hardly keep up with him. And night and day he worked away, doing this and that and everything. He stopped only for two things, to eat a little bread now and then, and to listen to the carolers. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let everything again, let every heart prepare Him room, and let nature sing, and let nature sing, and let nature sing. And one day, as he was listening to the choir, a little girl came up to our window. He could tell that she wanted something inside. We didn't know what the two were so interested in, but they seemed to get along famously, and they became fast friends, for every day she returned when the carolers were there, and every day the elf talked to her. And on we worked, and never before had we made so many toys and had such good business. But wouldn't you know that Mr. Little got worried because everything was going so well. He was worried about what he would have to pay our little elf friend for all his work. After all, he had promised him anything.
Oh, maybe he'll take all our profits.
Well, you can see that Mr. Little was really worried. In those days, he was quite a worrisome person. But everything seemed to go on smoothly. The elf worked harder than ever. And the carolers came every day with their songs. And the little girl came to stare in the window. And finally, Christmas Eve came, and what a day that was. We sold just about everything in the shop, and our tireless little friend had helped us every minute. While we were sitting there, there, talking about our good fortune, we had a visitor outside our window. We didn't see her, but you can bet our friend the elf did. And suddenly...
I want my pay!
Well, you can imagine how this startled Mr. Little. He finally managed to mutter.
Yes, certainly. But what would you like?
You said I could have anything in the shop. So I want the big doll in the window.
The doll? Yes, well, yes, of course. The doll. She is yours.
I was just a little surprised, too. And I could hardly believe my eyes as Mr. Little gave him the doll. And the funny little fellow stood there with that big, beautiful toy in his arms.
So, my friends, I've been well paid. Thank you, and Merry Christmas!
We were both speechless, to say the least. And before we knew it, the little elf was gone.
This I cannot believe. He worked so hard, and for only a doll. I do not understand. I must follow him to see what he does with it.
And that's exactly what Mr. Little did. Follow that little man out into the street. And when Mr. Little came inside the church, he saw what the elf was going to do with the doll. He was going to give it to the little girl. And when she saw the beautiful doll, she could hardly believe her eyes. Here was just what she'd always wanted. She couldn't speak, but the elf knew this would be her happiest Christmas. And all at once, Mr. Little was beginning to find out something new about Christmas. Like so many of us, he was terribly busy with the buying and selling, building and wrapping, working and planning for this busy time of year, that he had forgotten about some of the other things of Christmas, like giving and thinking of the happiness of others, and thinking, too, about the real meaning of Christmas. He never found the little elf again, but Mr. Little found Christmas. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let everything again. Let every heart prepare Him room. And let nature sing, and let nature sing, and let nature sing. Yes, Mr. Little was a new man after that night. He came out of the church with a wonderful feeling of joy and peace. As he walked along the street, he thought of the many things he would do to help make people happy, not only on Christmas, but every day of the year. And when he came home, he couldn't hold it back any longer.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to everyone!
And so you see, that's what Mr. Little thinks about whenever he hears the carolers in the street.
Yes, children, they taught me that there's a great deal more to Christmas than selling toys, and I've never forgotten it. And don't you forget it either.
And that, children, is the story of the elf and Mr. Little.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.